Mr. Chairman, for the records, Francis Xavier Susu for the victim.
Please, will he swear by the Bible or the Quran? I think he will need translation. Need translation for the swearing in. Okay, so what should I say? I would have to swear in English. By the Quran. Actually.
I, Detective Inspector Suleimana Abdullahi Jallo,
do hereby swear by the Quran
do here swear by the Quran
that the interpretation I shall give before the Commission of Inquiry
that the interpretation that I shall give in this inquiry
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
but nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me Allah.
I would say something. So please be reminded that by the oath you have taken, you've made the promise to speak the truth, and the failure to do so constitutes an offense for which you'll be liable to punishment. I,
A.W.W.
do hereby swear by the Quran
Do hereby swear by the Quran
that the evidence
I
shall give
give
before the Commission of Inquiry
before the Commission of Inquiry
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help him God.
Please be reminded that by the oath you have taken, you've made a promise to speak the truth, and the failure to do so constitutes an offense for which you'll be liable to punishment.
Mission na gwadawa cewa resuwa wani kaka yi gaban commission na. In ka yi karya ne, ka samu punishment din shi. Kuma ya fi ka yi gaskiya domin ka yi mi ka resuwa da Qur'an ne.
Chief, what is punishment in Hausa? You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now, will you, for the purposes of the record, state your full name to the commission?
Sunana
Ana cewa ka ba da sunanka da gaban commission na.
Sunana Hamidu Ahmed Amadu.
He is called Hamid Mohammed. Amadu.
Which of the names is your surname?
Cikin suna biyu na wani cikin ya zama sunan babanka. Amadu.
Very well, Mr. Amadu. You are welcome.
We commissioner suna cewa sanda zuwa.
Na sanu kare.
You have to interpret that one as well.
That yes, I accepted your request.
Mr. Amadou, what do you do by way of profession?
Ana cewa wani aiki ne kace yin.
Nina supply pure water.
He does supply pure water.
Mr. Amadou, for the records, where do you live?
Commissioner na so igane onuri kace.
Na Mamobi.
He lives in Mamobi.
On the 31st of January 2019, were you anywhere in the Ayawaso West Wargon constituency?
We ran on 31st January 2019. Sheikh Amadou. She kana decide in Ayawaso Wargon go. Yes, my lord.
What time were you there?
When you look at she kana urin.
Is at 6 o'clock.
He was there around 6 o'clock a.m.
Are you able to tell the commission what took you there on the day?
We kaya kagia ma commission ga abinde kaje urin kai.
Na yanga the commission. Na yanga the commission.
My lord, that he will be able to tell the commission all that happened at the place.
Very well. The commission is ready to listen. What took you there?
Commissioner we suna sunsuji abinda kana suka fadi dan wannan ranan nan.
Ana na wajen nan ni base of NDC. Na je wajen nan domin na zama polling station chairman for NDC.
My lord, that fateful day, he went there to represent the NDC. And again, he is executive member of the NDC.
Chairman.
That is the chairman of the NDC.
Not for Ayawaso.
That chairman for the Ayawaso.
Branch chairman.
Okay. That branch chairman.
Mr. Amidou.
Mr. Amidou.
Is Ayawaso North the same as Ayawaso West Wargon constituency?
Where Ayawaso North. Yazma Abuguda de Ayawaso's West Wargon. They are not the same.
Now, you said you were there to represent the NDC. Will you please tell the commission what you mean by that?
We kachiwe kana uri na saboda NDC ni. Kaya ka gwada abinda yas kana gwada waka makasa kaje uri na don NDC na.
Na je wajen nan ne domin party NDC mu in ka zama branch chairman duka wanda NDC ke election duka ka je wajen nan ka je ka yi taimako.
My lord, that he is the branch manager, branch chairman of NDC Ayawaso North, and in any elections that pertain to NDC in a different jurisdiction, as a branch chairman, he went there to support. That to mean that he went to throw his support to that particular jurisdiction.
Mr. Hamidou, are you saying that all branch chairmen of NDC are required to be present within a constituency when a by-election is going on? Is that what you're saying?
Commissioner Nasui Gani wa kana suka gwada wa kaman yazma abinda akwai by-election nkazama branch chairman ya kamata ka je wurin nan ka je ka support su ne.
Wannan tafiyan nan ba lalle she ka zama branch chairman ka ti wajen bane amma kana da lokaci kai branch chairman baka da lokaci baka zuwa amma kana da lokaci ka je kai taimakonka.
My Lord, what he says is that when you are a branch chairman and you have the time that you can go to the other jurisdiction to through your support, you are liberty to do that.
Mr. Hamidu, if you say through your support, what do you mean by that?
What I work among kachu kajika true support nka mikache sunka nufi.
Aje wajen nan in base of Ankara da mu da mu raba da polling agent, rice water, the bread.
That he was called upon to come over there so that he will also support in the supply of ration to the polling agents.
Rice water.
Rice water. Rice water to the polling agents. And then bread.
Mr. Hamidu, how did you travel to the constituency?
We are kayaka jiurina.
Na shiga mota ne na te.
That he went on transport.
If you say transport, will you clarify that for the commission?
That's a transport. Come on, catch a taxi ni kaji kuri kaji doki trotro ni kaji.
Ni na doki trotro na te.
That he joined the public transport.
Now, did you go to Ayawaso West constituency alone or you were in a group?
Commissioner Suyugani wa the kaji daga Ayawaso wagon kaji kekere nkore kaji remuran sukumani.
Ni de ni kadinati.
He went there alone.
Did you that morning find yourself anywhere in the area around the house of the NDC parliamentary candidate?
Wannan lokacin na ko wannan ranan na sai kana ta gidan candidate in NDC na.
Na wajen.
That yes, my Lord, he was around the house there. He went to the house of the candidate.
What took you there?
Me ya je da ka wurin.
Kamar yana na ce da mu raba rice water da bread mu je mu pa polling agent.
That's what he said earlier on was that he went there because they were there to share rice water and bread to the polling agents.
Mr. Hamid, do you agree with me, won't you, that the PC's house was not a polling station?
We ka yare the commission ga kama jidan candidate NDC na ba polling station ba.
Ba polling station ma gidan muka je mu doki rice water na mu je mu ba polling agent.
Yes, the house of the candidate is not a police station, but he was there to assist, distribute the rice water to the polling agents.
Rice water.
That is the house that they went to carry the rice water and then send them to the polling agents.
How many of you were supposed to be carrying this rice water and whatever you were supposed to distribute? Are you able to tell the commission?
Kuna wadi yakamata ko aza abincin na that's rice water na kuje ku ba polling agents. My Lord, that they were 5 in number.
And can you identify all the 5?
Commissioner na so gani wa makaya ka gwada commissioner mutane 5 na.
Mutanen 5 nan kowa ya fito ko ya fita anyan shi ne yazo amma wanda ne da su muka za mu raba rice water na mutum guda kawal na sani.
That out of the 5 they all came from individual places today. Candidate's house, but he can't identify only one person.
And who is this one person?
Watching now.
One yaro yana gidan candidate na.
There's this gentleman who stays in the house of the candidate.
What's his name?
We are Sunanshi.
Basa sunan shi ba.
He doesn't know his name.
Very well. Did you meet other people at the candidate's house?
We were nan ranar nan ka gan waransu ko ka ji ka gan waransu daga gidan candidate nan. Yes, my lord.
How many, in your estimation?
We kama mutanen nawa ne da ke ka doki idon ka gani.
Domin da muka doki rice wannan da Mahindra muna fitowa na gaba da wannan mutane guda ya sa bakin Lacoste, guda ya sa brown, guda ya sa desert food, suna da yawa suka zo wajen nan.
My lord, that fateful day when he went with others to pick the rice water into a Mahindra pickup, he saw some gentlemen, some in black t-shirts and some in brown trousers. But there were many. What he said was that when he went with others to pick the rice water from the candidate's house into a Mahindra pickup, there he saw some gentlemen in black t-shirts and brown trousers.
Now, are you telling the commission that when you arrived at 7 o'clock, these gentlemen you've just described were present? Is that what you're saying?
Cewa kacu ranan ka kiwu na kaman 6 o'clock a.m. ne. Will you?
These gentlemen were present? Those he's just described?
Wannan mutane wanda ka gwadawa kamar suna cikin black t-shirt da brown trousers na. Shi ka gan su wurin nan ko?
Lokacin da na kai 6 o'clock, lokacin shi mutanen ba su zo ba.
At that time, they weren't around.
Okay, so back to my question. My question is, how many people did you meet around the vicinity of the house, specifically in front of the house?
Cewa da ka kai wurin nan na, da ka duba cikin idonka, ka ga mutane nawa ne kai ka gwada kamar ka gani.
Lokacin da muka zo 6 o'clock, lokacin nan shi mutanen da ke nan guda na banki da bayan gwada misalin su.
My lord, what he says is that when he got there around 6 o'clock, there were individual people standing around, scattered. He cannot specifically give a number.
Not even an estimate?
Lokacin nan dai ya yi kamar mutane ya kai kamar 20, 25. Yeah.
We approximately, there'll be about 20, 25.
Okay. Now, before the men in black and brown uniform arrived, how many people would you say, in your estimation, were around the vicinity just before the men arrived?
We sanang masu baki riga the brown trousers na suzuna. Ikaduba mutane nawa ne sai suna around.
Dan lokacin da su zo nan da lokacin da mutane da yawa sun zo don lokacin da mun muna gidan candidate nan da mu fita da mu.
That before those described black t-shirt and brown trouser, before they arrived, there were some people around before he and his colleagues came out of the candidate's house with the food.
Are you able to put a number to those who were around, an estimate at least?
Kaya bara de mutane kaya ka dogi don ka gani wannan ranan.
Wannan mutane suka zo da wasu wannan kamun mu move mutane so at least so su kai 100.
That estimating may be about 100.
Were they all men?
We su dukan su maza ne.
Akwai mata ciki akwai maza.
That they were mixed up, women and men.
Will you be in position to tell the commission what their mission was?
We can't get my commission ga abin da ya sa suka zo wurin.
A su dai bayan gani don ba sa abin da ya kawo sojan ba.
Oh my lord, I can't tell what brought them there.
Now, at what time did this men in black and brown uniform arrive?
Weka kagema commission ga lokaci da yan bakake riga da brown trousers na suka zo.
Lokacin nan ya yi kamar an buga karfe 8 ko zuwa 7.
And that will be estimating around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
So you are telling the commission that you were in the PC's house to help in the distribution of food. You arrived at 6, as at 7:30, 7 o'clock you were still around. Is that what you're saying?
Kana so gwada kaman da ka kiwo nan kaman karfe 6 nan shi zuwa karfe 7 sai aloyo sai kana cikin gidan candidate nan ne. Yes, my lord.
Where were you when these men arrived? Those in black and brown uniform?
Wannan lokacin na shi ke da kanka naka ce.
Lokacin nan mun cire lori nan cikin gidan candidate nan muka park da mu ci doki rasu wata nan gidan na musa.
At that time,
The bread nan.
at that time, they had picked the pickup from the candidate's compound, brought it outside before they would bring the food into the vehicle.
So specifically, where were you? Inside the house or outside the house?
Yana cewa shi kana cikin gidan candidate nan ko kana waje ne?
Ina waje ne.
He was outside.
Outside. Now, the commission has been told that these gentlemen you've just described, those in brown and black uniform, were attracted to the scene by a gunshot. Did you witness that?
Yana cewa wannan mutanen ka gwadawa kamar suna cikin bakin riga da brown trousers nan. Da suka kewurin nan haka ma an bubuga bindiga. Wai kai ka gwada commission ga kaman gaskiya ne ko ba karya ne?
Haka nan an buga bindiga.
My lord, that is true. There were some gunshots.
Before the men arrived?
Sannan wannan mutane bakakin riga da brown trousers nan suka zo sannan bindiga nan ko dai bindiga nan an buga bindiga nan sannan suka zo.
A lokacin da suka zo ba su buga bindiga ba.
Ina gwadawa kama an buga bindiga sannan suka zo ko dai da suka zo nan aka buga bindiga.
Lokacin da suka zo kusa da mu ba su buga bindiga ba.
On their arrival closer to them, there was no gunshots.
Mr. Hamidu.
Yes.
Ina gwadawa ba. Yan bakake rigan nan. The brown trousers nan. Sun zo sana aka buga bindiga ko dai an buga bindigan nan sana su suka zo.
Domin ina wajen nan suka zo da mu fitar lorin nan. Da mu fitar da mu da muni da suka ce mu kwanta kasa. She muka kwanta kasa.
That on their arrival, they were coming out with a vehicle to, put the food in that pickup. Then the people ordered them to lie down.
Mr. Hamidu, my question was about a gunshot. Let me repeat the question. According to evidence before the commission, the men in black and brown were attracted to the scene by a gunshot. Did you witness that?
Commissioner na ciwo ba. Wani ya zo ya tumbada bakin manganan shi. Gwadawa kamar yan baki riga the brown trousers na. Before sun zo suke na don sun ji kamar an buga bindiga. Abin da ya sa su suka zo wurin nan ce.
Ba gaskiya ba ne.
My lord, that's not true.
Now, according to you, you were outside when they arrived. Did you actually see them arrive?
We kagwada commission nan kama shi kana waje sannan wana mutanen suka zo.
Na waje gindin lori na sannan suka zo.
That he was right outside there, just by the pickup when they arrived.
Now, which part of the area in front of the PC's house was your pickup?
We daga jidan candidate na pickup won kace gwada wana na shi wannan pickup ne na sai
gaban gidan candidate na,
that just in front of the candidate's house.
How many were you in that pickup?
We ku nawa ne ce cikin wannan pickup na?
Lokacin na ba mu fara tafiya don shi ba mu cin pickup na.
That they were not yet, they've not yet boarded the vehicle, so they were all out standing by the vehicle.
From which direction did they come?
Mutanen na wani ta wani wuri suka fito suka zo gidan candidate na.
Wanda suka ce mana nan su sun fito gaban lungun gidan candidate nan, gaban nan suka fito.
That they came from the frontage of the candidate's house.
Mr. Hamidu, there are two different ways to get to the candidate's house. One of them is from the direction of the school. The other is the main street. Which of these did the men use?
Ina so yi gwadawa kama jiran kan sanin ka zo jiran candidate nan ka bi akwai anya guda ina bin ta ina fito ta school na ne zuwa jiran candidate nan she guda kuma ina fito ta bakin anya nan ne zuwa wa jiran candidate nan so wancin kace sun ka gwadawa
wadansu sun fito gaban kan gidan wayan school nan wajen suka fito suka gamu da mu.
Some of them came from the direction of the school to the candidate's house.
And the others?
Wanda suka gamu da nan kawai na san ban san wanda others na suka fito ba.
That those who came from the direction of the school, they are the people that he saw.
How many were they?
We su kaman nawa ne.
Suna da yawa.
That there were many.
Can you take a guess?
We kai ka gwada dai su.
Wanda suka zo sun yi kaman about kaman 30, 35. Wannan na gani.
Approximately between 30, 35.
Very well. Mr. Hamidu, now you are in front of the candidate's house. Men dressed in black and brown arrive, and from where you were standing, can you tell the commission what happened?
We wanna look kagwada ma commission nan kaman yan baka ki riga the brown trousers nan da suka zo nan shi ke Amidu sai kana gaban gidan candidate nan kai ka gwada abinda ya faru gaban gidan candidate nan
na yan gwada.
My lord, that he can't describe.
Very well, go ahead.
We kai mangana.
To shi da muke gaban gidan candidate suka zo suka ce muna kuma mu kwanta kasa shi muka kwanta.
That when they were in front of the candidate's house, these people in brown shirts and brown trousers came and asked them to lie on the floor.
Da muka kwanta shi guda shiga cikin lori mu na ce cire shafi.
That when they were ordered to lie on the floor, one of the black t-shirts and brown trousers men came and entered into the pickup and removed their ignition key.
Da suka cire shi kin ne na tashi na tambaye su me yasa suka cire shafin lorin nan.
That when he saw that the gentleman removed the ignition key, he, Amidu, stood up and confronted him why he should remove the ignition key.
Suka ce mini kaman da su set cikin lorin nan ne.
The reply was that they wanted to search the car.
Shi na tambaye su na warantin su.
And he asked for their warrant of search.
she gudetam eduka tagan da aka rataya musu yace mu quarantine su kenan.
And that they showed him a tag that is around their neck, that is their warrant.
Shi na ce musu kamar wannan nan ba warrantin su kenan ba.
Then he told them that, look, that tag is not a warrant.
Shi wani gude ya fito ba ya yi ce kamar kana bari ina sai gaban ka yana tambayan ka warrant baka marin shi.
Then one of them came from behind and told him that, look, why do you have to waste your time listening to this gentleman with these questions? Why don't you slap him?
Shi wajen shi na ce kamar warrant ga ba polisan kirki ba ne.
Then he told his people that, look, these guys, they are not police officers.
Shi na tashi, shi na ce da mutane na su tashi su saya.
Then he stood up and asked his colleagues to also stand up.
Shi mutane suka tashi muka ce ba mu son magana su fita nan ga.
Then they told them that, look, we don't want any trouble. They should leave this place.
Shi ya zama Mr. Understanding tsakanin mu da su ya zama muna gadama.
There, an argument ensued between them.
Shi muna bin su ba mu shafin mu.
There, they were also following them, demanding for their ignition key.
Shi muka ga suna koma baya.
And they were going backwards.
Suka je baya. Suka kai gaban gidan gate candidate nan. Shi wajen nan shi gude cire bindiga. Lokacin shi crowd ya zo da yawa. Shi gude cire bindiga shi halba.
When they were going backwards, they got to the candidates, in front of the candidates' gate, main entrance. And that time, the crowd they were numbering. There, one of them pulled out a gun and shot.
Ya halba, gaskiya ya halba so shida.
That gentleman, the truth of the matter was that he fired 6 times.
Da ya halba so shida, she muka nemi wuri muka labe.
When he shot the 6th shots, they had to run and hide somewhere.
Da muka labe, shi wajen da na gani Honorable Sam George ya zo, shi na gan crowd ya zo komo, shi muka ce da Honorable Sam George kenan. Sun kabu shafin mu ne, ya zama muna misunderstanding, muke so muka bi shafin mu.
Out in their hideout, he saw Mr. Sam George appearing. When he appeared, they told him that, look, the guys have taken our ignition key.
Da muka bi shi Honorable Sam George ce muna shi dai ba mu saya nan ya je ya karbo muna shafi.
Then Honorable Sam George told them that they should wait. He will go and collect the ignition key for them.
To shi wajen nan da muka gan suna tafiya, shi muka wajen muka gan shi bindigogi ya tashi. Shi ana buga bindiga. Da aka buga bindiga ni ban sai ba na nemi wurin na labe.
That when Honorable Sam George was approaching the people for the key, he heard gunshots. So he quickly went into hiding.
Shi na boye, don shi na boye dan shi na gan bindigan nan yayi sanyi. Da bindigan yayi sanyi, shi na gan Honorable Sam George na kan parkin nan. Shi da ce shi da baran bi shi.
For some time, the gunshots they stopped the gunshots. There he came out and saw Honorable Sam George on the park. So he followed up to Honorable Sam George.
To shi na je kan parkin nan ne, shi gudan su guda. Ya gani kan park nan shi ce mini kama ai ni ke tambayan su warrant na ko kan park gan tambaye su warrant mu gani.
At the park, one of them identified him and approached him and said, look, you were there asking of warrant. We are now at the park here. Ask of your warrant again.
She suka fara bi wuri lokaci ishade ni.
That particular time, he had some lashes.
Shi na fara guduwa.
Then he took to his heels.
Wa shi na fara guduwan nan, shi suka fara bina.
He was being chased.
Shi na gani wani yaron unguwan mu ciki. Wani yaron unguwan mu ciki.
There he saw or he identified one guy from his area.
Shi na kira sunan shi yaro cire idon shi kaina.
Then he started mentioning his name, shouting and mentioning his name. But the guy didn't mind him. Then they pounced on him and were beating him up. There, a policeman in uniform came and said, "Look, they should stop." Then the policeman held him. And he was put in a pickup. He was put in a pickup and sent. Police stations. That when he was picked into the pickup, they said they should send him to the nearest police station. East Legon police station. And finally, he found himself at the East Legon police station. There he was detained. There I heard some of our big men arrived at the station. They wanted to inquire where we were. And then they identified that they were in the cells. Then I think the police allowed the big men to interact with them. And they told them that they should wait, they are coming. He didn't know what transpired between their big men and the police officers. Later, they were asked to come out from the cells and dress up. After that, they were issued with police medical forms. And they were conveyed to the hospital for treatment. Later, video na kan UTV. And later, then he saw some kind of videos in the television.
Very well. Before you go into videos and television, stay with me in front of the candidate's house. Before you go into later videos and television, could you stay with me in front of the candidate's house? Okay, don't worry.
Apologies for that. That was Amadou testifying before the Commission of Inquiry. It's the last day of the Commission's hearings, we are told, but the story appears to be shaping up and taking full form. Now we understand from Amadou, from his testimony, that at least 2 groups of SWAT team members came to the residence of Mr. Delali Kwesi Prempong, who at the time was the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election. We are listening to a story unfold, and you would understand what I mean if you've been following the Commission's hearing from the beginning. Let's take you back to the Christian Book Castle.
According to you, you told your colleagues that these men were not police officers. Is that the case?
We can get my commission kama wanam kage ama danwa inka kama mutane nga ba police bani akanani ko akanani. Yes, my lord, that is so.
Now, what made you think that they were not police officers?
We are kaka gani kama wanamutana ba police bani.
Yanda suka zo muna so suka ci mu kwanta kasan nan. Da yana life da suka yi muna nan. Police was wannan life.
my Lord, that the way and manner they came and ordered them to lie on the ground and their attitude towards them signify that they are not police officers.
And Mr. Hamidu, we are telling the commission that you saw men numbering over 30 approach, armed, and yet you confronted them. Is that what you're saying?
Kagema commission ga kama mutanen ga da suka zo nan suna nuna kama 30 ko dai 35. Shi suna rike da bindigodi. Shi kana da wannan karfin zuciya kai ka tashi ka tambaye su kamar na warantun su.
Yanda suka zo mana nan ne yasa na tashi na tambaye su.
That the way and manner they came, that's why he mustered courage and got up and asked them.
You were not even afraid for your life?
Shi baka suru kama wata cila ai maka wani abu.
Tsoro dai bai zo mini ba.
That he didn't panic.
Have you received any form of military training?
We cikin rayuwanka ka taba samun wani training kan military?
Ban taba sani ba.
That no.
You've told the commission that you also asked this man, numbering over 30, to leave. Is that the case?
We can't get my commission ga kama wana mutanen nan suna nama kaman cikin 30-35 na kaman su bari unguwan nan.
Ba ni kare ni na kowanne ce da jama'a na su tanye ne ga mutanen gaba police ba su bar nan ga.
That what he wants to mean to say is that he shouted for some people to come and they all said, look, these people are not police officers and for that matter, we should sack them from the place.
You agree with me when you...
Ba ji magana na ba. Da na yi kuwa, shi na ce da mutane su fabe mutanen ga polisai ba ne.
That he only shouted for help and that these people are not police officers.
Mr. Hamidu, you will agree with me, won't you, that you incited the crowd against these men in black and brown by your action?
Kasin kama abin da ka yi na, gwadawa kama ka sa ma mutanen kama ka sa su tsoro. Ka cire mutanen da ka yi kuwa ka cire mutanen na. Gwadawa kama ka sun ka kawo fada ne.
Ba sun kawo fada ba.
That was not his intention.
You also agree with me that that action of inciting the crowd actually sparked the commotion. Would you agree or not?
Cewa kamar da ka cire mutane da ka sawa ka cire mutane na wannan na magana kamar da kana suka kawo uban fada ba ne.
Because yana gudun yake cikin Hausa kamar ya bar na tambayan shi warrant na bai mari na. Wanda yanda gudan dan wanshi tambayin da nake tambayan ga warrant shi dan wanshi ce mini kaman ka bari na sai gaban kai na tambayan ka warrant baka marin shi.
That's because one of them behind told the guy that he was asking for the warrant, said that look, you are standing there and this gentleman is asking you of warrant. Won't you slap him? That actually prompted him to shout for the help of others.
This gentleman in black and brown, did they make any attempt to enter the PC's house at that point?
Wannan mutane da suka sa bakake da brown trousers na ka gan kamar sun yi kamar za su shiga gidan candidate nan.
Wannan muka shiga akan ganna lokacin nan wannan suka zo gaban mu suka shiga muna bayan gidan na akan ganna gaban gidan na kun kef na ma don suna da yawan ban san wanda suka je kofar gidan PC nan ba.
That they were the other side of the house, but you cannot tell whether they entered the candidate's house or not.
Are you able to tell the commission exactly where the first confrontation took place? Was it in front of the PC's gate, side of it from the direction of the school, or side of it on the other direction?
Kagama commission ga lokaci mutane da suka zo na suka tambiyan ku kan kwanta kasan na gaban ga gwada gaban gidan nan ne ko dai fitawa school nan ne ko dai other side nan ne
kaga in ka fito gidan peace nan kana zuwa akwai na anya aka lokacin kan anya aka muka sai da lorin mu
ta school nan anyan school ko dai
ka fito aka to yayi tacunan nan
that they were coming from the direction of the school where there are some trees planted by the wall. That's the direction that the people came from.
Now, you said whilst you were in hiding, you saw Honorable Sam George, am I right?
Kagama commission ga kama lokaci da ke ka boye na kagani Honorable Sam George in Azwa. Ko ba ka bane? Yes, my lord.
And that was before you had heard 6 gunshots. Is that the case?
Na gwada kama lokaci na kaji 6 gunshots na. That no, my lord.
So, is it a case that you saw Honorable Sam George before the first gunshot?
Kana suka gwada kama ka gani Honorable Sam George sannan wannan bindigo din nan aka buga ko.
Lokacin da mu da suke da gadaman nan sun buga bindiga shida nan sannan Honorable Sam George ya zo jin nan.
That when they engaged them with the confrontation, the 6 gunshots were fired before Honorable Sam George arrived.
Shi ya bar ma muka je muka boye.
That's the reason why they went and hide themselves.
Were there other gunshots when Honorable Sam George was around?
Well, lokaci Honorable Sam George ya zo na an buga bindigo di kuma.
To lokacin Honorable Sam George ya zo na za shi gamo da suna lokacin ni na boye. Wace na boye nan daga baya na zo gan shi da suna ana buga bindiga lokacin bindigo kuma ya yawa. Bayan da aka buga 6 ya zo an buga bindiga to lokacin ni na boye.
That before the arrival of Honorable Sam George, there were some gunshots, but that time he has hid himself somewhere.
Where exactly were you hiding?
Later, after Sam George and the Zoo, an buga bindiga shidan nan before Sam George zo. After Sam George da ya zo nan, sannan mu muna boye. Boye wannan muke yin nan sannan ana buga bindiga kuma amma still mu muna boye.
That before Honorable Sam George came, the 6 gunshots were fired. They were hidden. And after that, there were some gunshots that were fired. But that time, they were in their hideout.
Mr. Hamidou, can you tell the commission exactly where you were hiding when Honorable Sam George arrived?
We can't go to my commission now. When we see the Dawayan Kakumboy, Sana Honorable Sam George Yazo.
Ni lokacin san waye na son gudu sun bada amma lokacin ni na boye bayan akwai pickup gaban gidan PC na white pickup washi na boye bayan white pickup na walling kusa da walling gidan shi.
That time his other colleagues also find their way, but he found himself behind a pickup, white pickup, just in front of the candidate's house by the wall. He hid himself there.
And where were these men?
Black
and brown men?
When I look at you, mutane masuri gabaka ke the brown tribes and say na suke.
Shi lokacin na suna gaban ga pickup naka suna gefen pickup nan shi bindiga yana buga shi muna boye bayan pickup nan. Ina boye bayan pickup nan.
They were at the side of the pickup, firing their gunshots, but he was hidden just behind that white pickup.
The other side of which pickup? Is it the same pickup as he was hiding behind or another pickup? And if so, where was it parked?
One pickup Mahindra pickup nani kode one pickup daba.
Lokacin mun bar Mahindra pickup nan mun zo baya wayan gidan kofan piece bakin nan. Kofan shi gate main gate shi bakin nan lokacin mun bar wayan side Mahindra nan mun zo wajen gate piece nan.
That if I've left the Mahindra pickup on the other side of the house and they were just in front of the main gate, painted black. We're just in front of that. That's where the white pickup was parked. That's where he hit himself.
Mr. Hamidou.
My lord.
From your hideout, could you see everything?
With the kind of boy by him, foreign pickup na, kana ka gan abin da ke faruwa.
Na leka cikin glass nan na lekawa na duba cikin glass lori nan.
That at his hideout, he was watching through the glass of the pickup and he was seeing what was happening.
What was happening at that point?
Lokacin bindiga na ana buga bindiga ban son fito. Ana buga bindiga na shi na boye ban son fito.
At that time, they were still firing, but he didn't want to come out, but they were firing.
So, according to you, Honorable Sam George arrives, you come out of your hideout, approach him and complain about a key. Is that the case?
Well, she can boy. She Honorable Sam George Yazu.
Lokacin na bani boye.
At that time, he was not at his hideout when Honorable Sam George came.
Had the firing ceased then?
She bindiga na amber buga bindiga na sana.
Da aka buga 6 nan. Bindigan nan an buga bindiga so biyu. An buga gunshot so shida. Lokacin na mun washe. To muka gani Honorable Sam George ina zuwan nan. Shi muka gamu da shi. Lokacin bindigan 6 na an bar bugawa. An buga 6 ne ya wuce.
There is just after the 6 gunshots that they saw Honorable Sam George coming. Then they came out to meet him and then complained to him that
crowd na nan dewo ba kuma ya bulocin crowd mun nan ne.
That he came out of the crowd. Then they saw him and then they approached him and told him that, look, these gentlemen have taken collected their ignition key. So they complained to him. Then he told them that, look, he will get it for them.
Mr. Hamidou.
My lord.
Watch this video with me.
We can do a video.
Mr. Hamidou.
My lord.
Did you have a good look?
Video na da ka duba nan ka duba shi da kyau.
Na duba.
He has watched.
And you saw everything, right?
kaga na bin da ya tafiya tuka ko
amma wajen na kuma masala wajen nan kadan because machine na bisa ni in yanka photo nan da aka ta ina gaba kan ga du in yanka a san photo na wajen nan
that what
wajen da an gan lori na lokacin lori nake pake
what he saw was that the person who was taking the coverage was upstairs, but if you were to be downstairs, you would have seen the pickup that he's talking about.
Very well. Were you present at that scene?
lokacin ga dashen na nan.
Yes, my lord. He was around.
Was this before or after the first 6 gunshots?
Wanga video de kadwana. Yazma after 6 gunshots na kode anyi wanga busana akabuka indigo di
cikin wanga abu akabuka 6 gunshots na.
That it was in this confusion that the 6 gunshots were shot.
And are you able to tell the commission what exactly was going on in that scene?
We can get my commission apinda she anachkin.
Lokacin mura gadama ni ba muna gadaba su tafi muna kore su tafi muna gadama ni.
At that time there was some kind of argument ensued between them. They were asking them to leave,
now.
And then they should hand over their ignition key to them. That was the time the confrontation started.
Now, the commission has been told by one of the members of the SWAT team that on their arrival, they asked to search the people around. Is that the case?
When you get my commission, Guadawa, Kochi, Anchiwe, Azu, a search. Mangana Gasiani,
when a ni banjo number.
That is not privy to that.
The commission has also been told that initially the people around, that is, if you were one of them, agreed to be searched.
I want to look at you. Aren't you when you got a commission? Got Chihuahua. Go down to Yadakama a searching.
Ni abinda na sani ni shi da suka zo suka ce da sun search lori na shanyi na tambaye su search warrantin su.
My lord, that what he knows was that when they came, they said they wanted to search the pickup. There he asked for their warrant.
The commission has been told that the people around, that is, if you were one of them, were cooperative until Honorable Sam George arrived. What do you say to that?
When he has got our command, when I look at this Kazuna, Ndeki Kanana, Anachiwa, Kunyada, Sui Aikinsu, Tokum, Honorable Sam George Yazu, say confusion attached.
Bagaskia,
my lord, that is not true.
Now, the people you were with, did they throw stones at these black and brown dressed men?
When I look at this, Yamba Kaki, the brown dressed cousin, Mutanunku, soon Ulga Duasu.
Gaskiya na Allah lokacin nan ina tsakanin ina faman shafi ni ban dai ga ban gaido na ya gani wan dushi ba.
That at that time he was struggling to collect the ignition key from the people. He did not see with his naked eye stones being thrown at them.
At which time?
When look at Chichina.
Lokacin da suka fita mura suke abiga gadama from the back. The mun gadama from back nan ne hal muka kai main gate gidan PC nan.
At that time they were struggling from the back of the candidate's house to the frontage. So he did not know the exact time they are talking about.
Now, did you see water being splashed or thrown at the men in black and brown?
Pure water. Come yambaka ki regard the brown person. my Lord, that he cannot say anything about that.
From your hideout, you heard the gunshots, am I right?
Lokacin da ka ce ka kana cikin boyuwan na ka ji karan bindigodi.
Lokacin nan first gunshot ko the second one.
He wants to know whether it was the first or the second.
The first one you weren't hiding from your evidence. From the second one you were.
We ka ga ma commission kama first one na shi ba kana boyuwa ne. Ka gani suna buga bindigodin na.
The first one,
second one na ne na so gwadawa. Wannan lokacin na kana boyo ne ana bugun bindigodin nan ko dai shi kana na ne.
Da aka bugan nan, da an buga bindigan nan first one nan, da muka ga Honorable St. George ya zo wajen nan, shi muka approaching shi yanda da ya je ikarmuna shafin nan, to shi ya wuce ya kare nan kuma ya wuce mu tafiyan shi na fi bindigan na yami ya fara bugan shi ni na boye. Second one in nan, kagan second one an buka muka boye da muka boye nan kuma da yazo she an bar bukawa da aka buka shidan nan ba buka kuma ba first one nan to shi yazo muka zama da shi muka sai da shi muka ce ita mun wani abu ne miki tafiya ne shi muka ce su ci da shafin lorin mu ne don shi su da mun da muka shafin lorin ya mu da su gadama she ce mu da mu saya she muka saya she je ka shafin nan ka gani to lokacin nan na gani bindigo ya fara buga ga sani na boye ba san yanda aka bindiga ya fara buga ba.
That the first 6 gunshots happened before Honorable Sam George arrived. So when they saw him coming, they approached him and told that, look, Honorable, these people have taken our ignition key. Then he said they should wait. He will go and collect it for them. So as he was approaching the people, he heard another gunshot. By that time, he had taken cover somewhere.
Okay. From your hideout, are you able to at least tell the number of gunshots, a rough estimate if possible?
Which can boyu an kana kai ka gwada ma commission ga kaman nawa aka mutan sun buga bindigo kaman nawa ne.
Gaskiya bayan gwada muka an buga bindigogi da yawa don shi bayan gaya.
That it was a lot of gunshots, so he cannot specifically say 2 or 3 or 4.
Now, the commission has been told that there were gunshots from the men in brown and black and gunshots from the other group. Did you observe that?
We commission ga anjiwa kama yan baka kenan the brown tribes na sun buga bindiga. Kuma bindiga kuma ya buga daga wurin kunnan kuma. Wai me kana da shi ka fadi?
Ni na san kaman bindiga wajen mun nan da aka buga gunshot guda 6 muka boye don Honorable Sam George izo shi muka approaching shi yanda dai yi ya kabuna shafin mu to wajen da aka fara buga bindigan nan ni na je na boye don shi boye wannan shi ni da dan tashi mai kan pakin ni na ga Honorable Sam George.
That when the 6 gunshots were shot and Honorable Sam George came and they told him that, look, these gentlemen have taken our ignition key. The subsequent gunshots, he was hidden. Where he got to, where he saw Honorable Sam George was at the park, where he was identified by one other person and he was beaten up. For him to see other people firing gunshots, for that one, that he can't testify to that.
Very well, Mr. Hamidu. Whilst present, did you see any of the men belonging to your group sustain injuries?
Wannan lokaci na kai ka ga makomishin ga abin kagan kamar dan wayen ka sun jiji ciwo.
Oh, yan waye na da sun jiji ciwo. Na ga wurin su yara da sun ji ciwo amma ba ni da suke tafiya ba.
That he saw some guys with wounds, but he wasn't with them.
Was it after you had come out of your hideout that you saw these people?
When mutan de kagan sunji chiwo na de ka fito cikin boyo kana na ka gansu ko dai
after cikin boyo dan na gansu
that when he came out of his hideout that he saw them.
So then you wouldn't be in position to tell how they sustained the injuries, am I right?
So gwada wa kama yanzu aka bai ka gwada ma commission ga abinda ya dalili wanda suka ya sa suka samu wannan suka ji wannan ciwo na ko
don ni da na buka karin bayan da muka kare don an ja an kulle ni
that he was
don da naka je ka pakin nan ya an buga ni aka aje ni ko shan kama naka ja kulle ni shi ni ban sa abin da ya faru daga baya ba.
That at the park he was picked up by the police and sent to the East Legon police station and was detained. What happened behind him, he can't tell.
Now, you've told the commission about being attacked at the park. Did you sustain any injury?
We can get my commission ga kama daga park na waransu sun kama ka sun buga ka wannan na kai ka gwada kama ka ji ciwo ko ba ka ji ciwo ba
na ji ciwo.
That he sustained injury.
What exactly?
We ya same ka.
An shade an nuna nan da ido na da akarkari na.
That is, he was beaten up with a chain at the side of his arm and then back, some of his, and then part of his body, and then his face, precisely the eye.
Were you given a medical form at the police station?
Where the Anjan Kulika na ambaka police medical form.
Yeah, I'm buying medical form.
Yes, my lord. I was given a medical form.
And did you go to the hospital?
We kaje hospital now.
Naje hospital.
Which hospital?
When hospital kaje?
Legon.
That yes, I was sent to Legon Hospital.
And did you return your medical form to the police?
Where the doctor na adubaka ya kari na ya baka form kana.
Lokacin nan she aka kare na manyan NDs don su suka biya sun karbi takadan police reporting nan suka ce da su kai su ba police nan.
That on their arrival at the hospital, after treatment, their big men came around and collected all their medical reports, and that they'll be sending them to the doctor to endorse for them.
Mr. Hamidou, you've mentioned big men a number of times, our big men. By that, who are you referring to?
We can attach our come on, big men, Chin Commission. When big men chinaka chegwadawa.
Ni de wanda suka beli na.
Ina so chiwa suna yensu.
Honorable Jaja da Police Dauda.
That those big men he's referring to is Honorable Yusuf Jaja and Honorable Police Dauda.
Are you able to tell the commission how long you were in the police station before you were taken to the hospital?
Okay, I commission ga lokaci ne aka je da police station na. Always when aka saka wurin nan sannan aka baka medical form ka je hospital na.
Madoki kaman 1 hour.
My lord, it's about an hour. My lord, that he stayed there for an hour.
Same video. Mr. Hamidou, what I want you to do is to take a closer look at this video, and if it is possible, to point yourself out to the commission in the video.
We suna sun su kuma su buga video nga ka duba da kyau kaya ka gwada kere kanka cikin wannan video na.
You see, this is a clear example. As for this guy, what is he trying to do now? What is his problem?
There's no seeing himself.
Thank you, Mr. Hamidou. Mr. Chairman, your witness.
Mr. Chairman, we had indicated that he had a video he wanted to tender. We gave it to the commission. I don't know whether the commission will be willing to take a look at it. We handed it when we came on Tuesday.
Which video is this?
We gave it to the administrator, and he forwarded it on a pen drive.
You can go and find out. Mr. Ahmed.
My lord.
I think you are a very brave man.
We ana dubawa kaman kana da karfin zuciya.
Ba ina da karfin zuciya ba ne.
That not so, my lord.
These men you described, they were armed. And some of them were masked.
We mutane ga ka ce we suna rika bindigodi kuma waransu kuma sun sa abu suka rufe idanunsu.
Haka nan ne.
So, my lord.
And yet, you were able to challenge them.
She put the one kaya ka tambaye su magana.
Bin da yasa na yi na tambaye su ne shine yanda da gude ya Hausa ya ce wa mare ni.
My lord, that the reason why he confronted them was that one of them spoke in Hausa. That look, you are listening to this gentleman. Why won't you slap him? That prompted him to also talk to them.
Okay, you said they told you to lie down. How many of you did lie down before you said you got up?
We wannan kage ma commission nan kama sun giya mu kama ku kwanta. Ku guda nawa ne aka giya ku kwanta nan. Sannan ke kai ka tashi bisa.
Lokacin da suka zo muna nan muna si ana si wajen nan da yawa.
Ku nawa aka ce ku kwanta.
Mu gaban lori na mu fudu na mun da muka fito cikin lori na suka ce mu kwanta. Mu fudu gam da driver nan biyar.
That there were 4, including the driver, 5.
5 people were
Five of them were asked to lie down.
But there were a lot of people there, apart from the 5. So, which 5 people were asked to lie down?
We wannan lokacin na akwai mutane da yawa. To ko biyar kana gwada na su wani ne?
Lokacin na mu biyar na muke gaban lori na mu kuma za mu raba rice watan da bread.
That, my lord, the 5 of them were the people that took the food from the candidate's house into the pickup with the intention of going around to distribute to the polling agents. So for the 5 of them, he knows them, that they were together.
And it was those 5 people that were asked to lie down.
So when mutane biara na ku mutane biara na akachi ko kwanta kasanna.
Mun da suka zo na sun jojo mu lore mu nan direct. Sun zo jan nan gaba da ni. Da suka zo na su suka ce mu kwanta kasa. Mu yan cikin lore nan.
That when the people arrived, they came straight to them, and they who were in the pickup were asked to lie down. And subsequently, they want to search the pickup.
And you asked them for their search warrant.
Yes, my Lord. He did ask them.
You know the law about search warrants?
We can send law between search warrant.
I've been this time to Manyang Naduba TV3. Yan Manyan ke Polmanyan police because sooner advocate more days of Yandaki Moto Pika Gida, yet go police inviting Kakuka, they invite only they come at Katambeshi before.
My Lord, that he had education through the television where police officers are being interviewed about search warrants or searching of a house or something like that. So there's a need, you ask them for their search warrant. That's where he had his education from.
Now you said you came to the candidate's house around 6:30, and there were about 30 people there. How many of them did you recognize?
Kagiawa kaman kiurina kaman 6:30 a.m. Desafi. Ka gamude mutane suna namba kaman 30 and above. To soon mutane nandeka ganna ka identify ka gwada kaman ka nuna kaman wang nasin shi ko wang nasin shi.
Wannan da noise ke duka ban san ko ba da mutane wajen gowana bane.
My Lord, that those people that he met, he can't identify any of them.
Okay. And you said by the time these people who were dressed in black top and khaki arrived around 7:30, the crowd was about 100.
We can't achieve jiwa kama the wanamutan de sukasa baki rega the brown trials na suka zona shi mutan suka suna na kama 100 plus.
Wannan da mutan suna wajen nan diwa lokacin kamar su zo nan mutan suna wajen diwa.
Yes, my Lord. Before they came, or on the arrival, there were many people around, numbering about that 100.
Where did they come from?
We now want to suka fito suka zo.
Gaskiya ni ban san wajen da suka fito suka zo ba.
My Lord, that he can't actually tell where they were coming from.
And he didn't identify any of the people in the crowd of 100.
Cikin wannan mutane 100 na kuma ya nuna ko gudan su ma kika sani.
Wannan ni na sani she wannan mu da shi zamu warabara shi watannan. Wannan ke gidan PC nan shi kawai ni na sani.
That the only person that he can identify at that time was the gentleman that stays in the house of the candidate that he earlier on mentioned. That's the only person he can't identify.
Do you know this group called the Hawks?
We can say one as Hawks.
Ni ba san su ba.
My Lord, that he doesn't.
Na ji sunan na ba san su ba.
That he has heard the name, but he doesn't know them.
Do you know Rashid?
We can say one Rashid. My Lord, that he doesn't know.
Theophilus?
We can say one Theophilus. My Lord, that he doesn't know him.
Okay. Now, how did you sustain your injuries? Can you tell me again?
Kaika gwada kande abinda ya yi ka samu wannan kaji wannan ciwo nan.
Na yin gwada.
My Lord, that he can't.
Yeah, let him go ahead.
Okay, mangana.
wannan ji ciwo ne shine sun ajiye ni kasa lokacin suka biyu nake gudan so kwalifin suka ajiye kasa suna butu na suka butu aka doka bindiga karkashin bindiga aka buga ido na da ka bayana shi don shi nan ka na samu yankan kadan wai celin da aka mini bulalan jin ciwo na kenan.
My Lord, that it was it got a point in time when he was running, when they chased him, that the people in black T-shirt and brown trousers gave him a chase. They put him down. Then some used chain and beating him. Some also used the muzzle of a gun to hit his eye. And then he had a cut on the head too.
Now, you also said you did not see how your other colleagues who sustained injuries, how they got their injuries, right?
We can get my commission kama dan wayan ka wani suka ji ciwo nan ba ke baka sani abin da suka samu wannan suka ji wannan ciwo ba.
Don ne da aka buga bindigan aka kare da naga honorable Sound George na kan park nan ni mana tuman na shi kan park nan.
That when he was in his hideout, when he saw Honorable Sam George on the park, then he also rushed and went to the park. So he didn't see who was beaten and how they sustained their injuries.
At the police station, did you see someone with a blood-stained vest?
We daga police station na East Legon police station na ka gani wani da jini kan singletin shi ko rigan shi.
Ni da su aka gama ka sa cell.
My Lord, that together they were put in the cells.
Now, the 6 shots that you heard, were they fired by a single individual? Did one person who shot 6 times, or several people gave the 6 shots?
We ka gaya ma commission ga kama an buga bindiga shida. Suna son su gane mutum guda ne ya buga wannan bindiga shida nan ko dai waransu kuma sun buga ne.
Shidan da na ganin nan mutum guda ya buga.
My Lord, with the 6th gunshots that he heard, saw one person doing that.
You saw the person?
Kaga meshi.
Na ga karan bugawa na mani ban ga meshi ba. Ina cin jama'a nan ne.
My Lord, that he was in the crowd and he was firing, so he didn't see him with his naked eye. But
he's... Na ce ina cin crowd da ya daga bindigan nan ya buga. Ni ina cin crowd nan ya daga bindigan ne ya buga. Me shi ne daga bindigan nan na gan shi.
That he was in the crowd rather. Then he saw the person firing 6 shots.
Who was the person?
We kaka gwada meshi.
Wallahi bayan gwada meshi.
My Lord, that he cannot tell identify the person. Ana waka gan shi kaka gwada.
Yadda ya sa abin ganshin nan bayan gwada.
My Lord, that due to the way he dressed up with a mask, he can't identify him.
Thank you, Mr. Amidu. You said you supply pure water?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
We kage ma commission kama ke kana supply pure water ne. Kai ka gwada shekaru ne kai wanga aiki.
Oh, ina cikin aikin na kai almost about 7 years cikin aikin nan.
My Lord, he has been in this business for the past 7 years.
Okay. Did he take some of the water to the candidate's house to serve the people?
Commissioner naso gane kaje pure water nan jidan candidate nan gaba mutane.
Warana na sobre election na ni banje aiki ba.
That my lord, that because of the election day, he didn't go to work.
You said you took the rice water to a Mahindra pickup.
We kagema commission kama kaza rice water kajere shi daga unin.
Monsa rice water chicken banaza ba monsa rice water chicken pickup na za mo ba polling agent.
My lord, that they carried the rice water into the pickup, just about to go and distribute it to the polling agents.
In what receptacle was the rice water?
Una bunisi abinchi neche.
In a chicken high chest.
That the rice water was in the high chest.
How were the polling agents going to eat the food?
We polling agents and this chiwana abinchi.
Ba abinci guda ba su kare da ba mutum guda da ba mutane da yawa ne dan mu yawo.
Sai na gwada kamar ya ji su ci wannan abinci.
To rana nan ni ban san yanda aka kare ba.
Ina so gwada kamar ka ce we rice water na ansa cikin ice chest ko ba ka ba. Shi tana son ta gane in kun je da abincin ga daga polling stations na mu agents na ya za su ci wannan abinci.
Muna zuwa da shi da aikata an sa ina cikin wani bonsu ne muka sa muka cover kai.
My lord, that they were served in small containers, that when they arrive at the polling stations, they would serve them, it would serve the food to the polling agents.
So there were small containers on the vehicle as well?
Na gwada waka ma wannan small containers suna cikin
an packaging shi ne. An sa ni cikin abin da aka packaging shi.
My lord, that they were served into those small containers and packaged.
So what happened to the food when all this confusion occurred?
So abin da ya faru ga shi abincin nan me kuka yi da shi?
Ile da aka da kulle ni ba sabi da faru kuma ba.
That my lord, after the confusion and he was sent to the police station and detained, he didn't know what happened to the food.
Okay. Had he boarded the pickup before the black and brown men came?
We na tana son ta gane shi kana kan pickup nan sannan yan black the brown suka zo. That's so, my lord.
So they asked you to get off the vehicle?
Which is kaman Yes, my lord. He was asked to come down from the vehicle and lie down.
Because from what you translated, it was like he wasn't on the vehicle and he was asked to lie down.
That he was on board the vehicle when they asked him to get down from the vehicle and lie down.
Okay. Did he said he saw the one who fired the 6 shots?
My lord, according to him, that he was in the crowd and saw
Ask him, please. You are not.
Okay. Ina gwada baba. Kaman kachi ka gani shi samari wani ya buga bindiga shidan nan ko ba haka ba?
Na ga shawan ban ga idon shi ba.
My lord, that he saw him but he didn't see his face.
So when he was asked to lie down, he did not lie down.
Da aka ce ka kwanta nan, ka kwanta ko baka kwanta ba?
Na kwanta sannan tashi.
My lord, that when he was instructed to lie down, he lied and got up again.
So when did he hear somebody saying, why don't you slap him in Hausa?
Wani lokacin ka ji wani ya ce wai ya ba marinka cikin Hausan nan.
Lokacin nake tambayan su warrant.
That at the time he was requesting for their warrant.
But he said the way they were carrying themselves, he decided they were not police. That's why he got up.
We ka gwada ka ga commission ga kamar da way mutanen sun zo suna yin na alamun su. Shi ya sa ke ka samu wadan
abin da na ga yana da na tashi na tambaye su warrantin su. na tashi na tambaye su warrantin su to wayan tambayan warrantin ne shi wani gudu shi tambaye ya nake tambayan su warrant ya nake yake bar na sai gaban shi na tambayan shi warrant bai mari na.
My Lord, that what he said was that when they asked him to lie down, he got up again. And
Did he lie down first?
that's what he's saying. That he got up and he was demanding for the warrant from them. That is when another person behind told him that, look, why are you wasting your time asking him questions? Won't you slap him?
So when did he form the opinion that they were not police?
So when look at you, police number.
Lokacin da na tashi na tambaye shi warrantin shi ya tambaye shi warrant shi duka tagin shi na yana gwada mini na shi na duba tagin na ba warrant bane.
That when he requested for the warrant and the man showed him a tag on his neck, then when he saw the tag, he saw that no, this wasn't a warrant. That's where he got the opinion that there were no police officers.
And he called upon the crowd to attack them.
Jama.
Ba wajen nan guda ce kaman ya nake siye nake tambaye ke ban na sai gaba shi na tambayan warrant bai mari na to wajen nan ce kaman wadan gaba mu police din karki ban don shi da ba ku zo ku tanye mu.
That, my Lord, when he requested for the warrant and they showed him the tag, then one person behind said, why are you wasting your time on this gentleman? Won't you slap him in Hausa? That's where he now asked the crowd to come and help because they are not police officers. They should come in and they will help drive them away.
So about 30 or 35 people came to the place, armed and all, asked them to do things. He decided they were not police. They showed him something when he asked, has he ever seen a warrant?
Commissioner Nasugani wa mutane kamang 30 and above suna rike da bindigodi. She suna tambayan ka ba ki suna ciwo kwanta shi ka tambaye batun warrant. To ke da kanka ka san abin da ya zama warrant.
Je ba sa abin da ga based on education da nake samu kan TV na tambaya.
My Lord, that he doesn't know what is warrant, but due to the education that he has received in the media or the television, that's why he asked for the warrant.
So how did he know what they showed him was not a warrant?
Ya kaka gane kamar abin da suka gwada maka nan ba warrant ba ne.
Na ga su duka sun sa tagin na iri guda.
My Lord, that he get an opinion that the tag that the gentleman showed to him, all of them are wearing the same tag.
So they could not all be wearing the warrant.
So kana wara kama soon da suka rika tags dukan suka sa the same tag na. So wannan ya gwada kan ba warrant ba.
Haka nan my Lord.
My Lord, that is so.
So you invite over 100 people to attack and drive away 30 or 35 people who believe they have lawful authority to be where they were. Did you not threaten them then?
Cewa mutane guda 30 and above sun zo shi ke ka cira mutane 100 su zo su kore su. Kai wannan ba abin da kana son ke da wannan mutane 100 nan ku sa ma mutanen ga tsoro ba ne.
Ba tsoro ba ne abin da ya sa na yi kara wannan don muke kwallon da gudan da ya shige cire shafin mun nan. To shi na kalkon na za su da shafin kuma za mu raba abinci da shi na za su da shi. To shi na kar jama'a su fabe mu karbi shafin nan.
My Lord, that wasn't so bad. What he acted was that when they collected the ignition key from them, he was like, they should give the ignition key to them, but they refused, and then he called other people around to assist.
To come and hold them down and take the key
from them.
To come and hold them down and take the key.
Gwada kama zuwa kama su aji kasa na karu shafin nan ko dai.
Domin fara da muka suka zo wajen ba da fada muka tashi ba da fada muka zo suka zo wajen ba da wannan ba ne sun cire shafin nan ne da suka ce ba lokacin suka ci mu kwanta sun cire shafin nan ne to wajen da tashi na tambaye su warrant na shi shafin nan shi na ce suka na duba kaman na tambayan su babin gan nan so lokacin nan shafin da suka cire nan ina da abincin ya bata kaza yayi don shi ina noman yana da ya taimake ni in karbi shafin nan so abin ga ma ba na cikin intention zuwa.
Can you translate, because I can't hear what he's saying?
I'm going to do that. I just wanted him to finish.
You are summing up what he's saying, and you should be translating, because that's what is causing the question.
Ni bana kira intention I father ko I wanna ba.
My Lord, that it wasn't his intention to call the crowd to come and fight these people.
Domin shafin da suka kiran nan na ga kaman waɗanda ba police ba sun cire shafin mu in suka wuce lorin da abincin ya sauro jan nan to ina taimako na ga bani shafi na.
My Lord, why he did that was that when they collected the ignition key, he saw that there were no police officers. And if they should send the key, the food on board the vehicle will get spoiled. That's why he was pleading that they should give the key back to him.
Does he know all the police in Ghana?
Ukaseni police in Duka Chingananga.
But some police in Ghana ba.
That, my Lord, he doesn't know all policemen in Ghana.
So when he led the crowd to resist this group that obviously had come as a group, even if they were not police, strictly speaking, but some other unit, official unit, did he not bring trouble upon himself?
We the Kakamutana Gasuna chicken back again t-shirts, the brown trousers. Susan Kaman 13. She Skuka Shafanga Shake Suzu Chinkan Grupuni Suzu Aiki. She can't come back police. The catcher Mutane Zua numbering come 100 and Gabakana Zua cow Zanga Zanga Bani.
Ah, Niba Nasuka Zanga Zanga Ban, so the Shafin and Eku, I got him again.
My Lord, that was not his intention. His intention was that they should give back the key to him so that he can convey the food. But it wasn't because he wanted to create confusion.
So he made himself a leader of a crowd of people he did not know.
So Kamerekenka Mitch Miss Chingaba Mutane ka cause confusion.
Ni ba mai da kai na leader mutanen ciga but you create confusion ba.
My Lord, that is not so.
You said you shouted that the people are not police, so then all the others should come, so you drive them away.
We ka gwada wa kama mutanen nan ba police bane. Shi ka cira mutanen su zo su tanye kokore su ko ba ka ba? Not to, my Lord, not to come and drive them away, but rather to assist him collect the key from them.
Does he know that is how lynching begins?
Kasan kama wannan ce kawo yirin abuga mutum al-akeshe shi na. My Lord, that he is not aware of that.
Does he realize that in threatening that group, he caused them to fire warning shots?
We kasan kama abin da kayin nan kasa su suru siyasa su suka biga bindigo din nan.
Wallahi ni da ban san wannan ba.
My Lord, that he doesn't know that.
So the crowd started running.
So jama'a an fara guduwa.
Da aka buga wani shooting jama'a suka fara guduwa. Ni da kai na gudu.
That when they heard of the gunshots, the crowd, including himself, ran away.
But we have evidence that some people in the crowd also returned fire.
That sun samu cewa kama mutane cikin jama'a na kuma sun buga bindiga.
Ba sani ba.
My Lord, that for that he doesn't know.
So you have no idea what caused the extra firing because you did not see.
So kana suka gwada kaman ke baka san abin da ya nufi ya kawo batun wannan irin bindigodi bugawa nan kuma ba. My Lord, that is so. Doesn't know.
Do you know that the police have official instructions to shoot at the knee of the leader of a group that is giving them trouble?
Kasan kama in police suna aikin su inda mai cin gaba yana so kawo musu zanga-zanga suna su buga shi bindiga.
Wannan dai ban sani ba.
My Lord, that he doesn't know.
So you don't know too much about these things, and yet you made yourself a leader to resist a group carrying out an official function.
Toki kasan kama ba kasan wanga ababe bane shi ka mere kanka mai gaba kai ka ci ransu kuma ku ya ku stop mutane wanda suka zo su yi aikin su.
Ni ban mai da kai na gaba ban yadda na tambaye su nan ne ban samu ansan kirki ba abin da ya sa kenan.
That's not what he meant, but it was that when he asked them a question, that is the warrant, and they were not able to justify them, so that's why he called for assistance
Them
from
to
the
be
crowd.
attacked.
Say, akama abuka asukuri. My Lord, that's not so, but rather to get the key of the vehicle.
So if you are not going to attack them, how are you going to get the key?
Attack on my Lord, that's why they were following them with plead, that they were pleading with them, they should give them the key.
They were following them where?
That
They were following them where?
That were following.
The crowd we saw wasn't following anybody.
I've been but when I've been subani.
I've been lokacin nan muna mu da suka zo wajen mun nan lokacin crowd nan ba su cika wajen aka nan ba.
At the time the people came to them, the crowd was not so much like what we have seen. When they came to them at the vehicle and took the ignition key.
Thank you.
It's a good day.
On a good day, my Lord.
Hello. He said, let me get that point clear. Did he say that there was one shot, and then later on there were about 6 shots?
No, my Lord, that the first shot was 6.
6?
Yes, my Lord.
Was it rapid or in single?
Nagwadawa bindiga aka buga farko shida na. An buga shi guda ne ko dai an din buga dai shi yana bin zuna.
Na ji shi pow, 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 pow. So shida.
My Lord, it was in singles.
He was counting.
Shi kana cikin kana abin kana ciraye ko?
Lokacin nan da suke buga wannan, kidayen da ina cikin kaina.
At the time they were firing, the count was being observed.
He was counting his head.
In his head, my Lord.
Where was he?
Shi wannan lokaci kika ce.
Lokacin nan na gudu. Lokacin da aka buga first shoot pow pow nan mun gudu. Shi kana da gudu. Shi na gudu na babayan lorin nan.
That at that time he was behind their vehicle.
Yeah, but he said first shoot pow pow. That's
that way he heard pow pow.
Then the first 2.
First 2, 3. Then he ran.
No. Is it 2 or 3? The first.
No. Nakabuga. Guda biyu ko guda uku. Pow pow.
Wannan na ji pow pow. Shi na gudu shi bayan lorin nan.
That's 2 shots. Pow pow.
First one, 2 shots.
Yes. Then
later on.
Shi
da aka buga pow pow nan ya gudu shi continuous pow pow nan yake zo.
That after that it continued pow pow pow.
How many more?
Bayan biyu nan an buga fudu aka kara kan zu.
After that they shot 4.
4.
Yes,
so the first 2, then he ran.
Then he hit 4 again.
Did he see the person doing the firing?
We kaga wannan mutunan da yana bugan na.
Lokacin da ya cire bindiga nan cikin crowd ne ya buga muka fara washewa.
That when the man pulled out the gun, at that time he was in the crowd, and when he started the shooting, he ran away.
So he didn't see the gun.
Kagan bindiga nan.
Bindiga ya na gashi daga bisa ne.
That he lifted it.
No, did he see the gun?
Kagani.
Na gan bindigan nan.
That he saw the gun.
Was it a small weapon or
a
big one?
Bindiga, karamin bindiga no kode buban bindiga.
Na gashi karamin bindiga ne.
That small arm.
Small arm.
Yes, my Lord.
So anyway, he's been doing this. So does it mean that the man was shooting upwards?
We kana yakanga. So wannan gwadawa cewa machine shi na buga bisa ni ko?
Lokacin da yana buga bisa ne.
Yes, my Lord, he was firing upward.
And later on in the confusion of the day, when other shots were fired, was he around any of those places?
We after coming to Ganashana bombing and shaking our room and that he was hidden behind the car.
And all those shots, did he count the other?
Wanam daka bugan da bayana shikana kana chirai. That he was struggling for himself, so he didn't count those shots.
The second group of shots,
yes.
After the first 6?
Yes, my lord. He was
running
for his life, so he didn't actually count.
But the first group, he wasn't afraid.
So wanam pau shaka kuma buka pau na wanan shi baka suru. Aisha na gudun na. That is why he ran away.
To where?
Behind the car.
Yes, but he's behind the car. And how far was he from those who were shooting?
When we check a boy, do I am luring na? They will not ana bugum bindigan ya nisa. Very nisa. That it was not too far.
Is it from here, like to where my friend in suit is, or maybe where the cameras are?
We kaya gwada kama when we catch examining, according when we see china, the samarim is a chicken suitinga. Kode wouldn't maso.
Kama susuna siyakanga. The local chamber muro suna muna gefe suna gefe. Washikamana samarenga kesenga shemuna suna siyaka. No shuna fara buka mo shida na bi bayan lorin na. She local chamber muna se gidan piecing na. Gefe to gidan piecing na. She na bi bayan lorin na.
My lord, that they were standing opposite each other.
Oh,
like from where he sits to where the gentleman is. Then they started the fire and he passed.
Those who were shooting were opposite those who were
hiding. Yakabuka first gun shoot shidan na. Lokacin nan yana bi bayan lorin na.
Ina so gwada wa ba. So you understand. Kere mutanen na kuna opposite ni kode suna jefe aka kuma kuna jefe aka nan.
Lokacin ni na gudu na shiga bayan su na su mutanen nan.
Joy News can report authoritatively today that a militia group associated with the governing MPP is being trained at an important state facility classified as a security zone. The group has been meeting at the facility for close to 2 years. At a time that the country is waiting on the NPP and the NDC to take a decisive decision on operations of their militia groups, Joy News' head of investigations desk, Manasseh Azuri-Awuni, went undercover to expose the activities of the I Group, its operations, and its link to the MPP.
Joy News investigation has revealed that the group has 2 offices in this building, one as the secretariat of the group and another as the office of the commander. The Ministry of Interior, which licenses private security agencies, has told Joy News the I Group is not licensed to provide any security services. Sources within the group, however, say the I Group undertakes security operations in and out of Accra. A private legal practitioner, Martin Kwebu, says it is an offense to operate a security group without any license from the Interior Ministry.
Once your checks have revealed that this I vigilante is not registered, yet they are providing the services, then, unless there are any other facts that we are not aware of, it means that there is a breach of the law, and it comes with very serious consequences. If a person, both for the persons employed as the security guards and also for the organizations, Regulation 14 makes it an offense for people or a person to work for an unregistered security organization, and also for the organization itself to provide security services when it's not been duly registered. And so Regulation 15 says that in that case, if the person is found guilty, so means after this, if you make a report and the police also investigate and confirm what you've already investigated, they want to prosecute, they are facing a fine and up to 1 year imprisonment.
Right. One.
The full story will air tonight at 8:30 here on the Joy News channel, on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Also on our YouTube channel. Don't miss it. It will shock you. Now let's take you back to the Christian Book Castle, where the Commission of Inquiry is hearing a testimony from Amadu.
Yes, my lord.
The second time he's still in hiding.
And they were
But
fighting.
people are close from him to where the lady is, isn't it?
Yes, my lord.
And he says they are firing several shots, so those ones he didn't count.
So you gane ba. First section na kaji pow ko ba ka ba.
She na gudu.
She ka gudu ka boy bayan lori ko ba ka ba. She ka won kaji pow so fudu. Ya zo zama shida ce nan ko ba ka ba. She ka boy kanka. Kamar wurin zama kanga da wurin matanga ko ba ka ba ne. To ina so ya gane cewa da ka boy nan several bindigo da aka buga bayan nan wannan baya ka gane ko an buga biyu ne uku ne shida ne goma ne takwas ne baya ka gane wannan
bayan gane
the first one da kai ka gane to abin ne yana so ya gane cina
bayan gane wannan.
My lord, that he cannot know about that.
Also the second group of, there were no second group of shots that he had.
So kana so ka kama second group of fire nan da ke baka ji ko guda ba.
Abin da ya faru ne bayan da aka buga bindiga shidan nan muka boye Sam George ya zo wajen nan da Sam George ya zo wajen nan mun fito lokacin an bar buga bindiga mun fito muka ce musu so ya tambaye mu na bushe muka ce kaman bindigan nan shafin lorin muna so ka shafin lorin ka ji kana ji magana na
ina zuwa
da aka buga bindigan nan.
My lord, he is repeating what he has said earlier by saying that when after the first shots, Honorable Sam George came and they approached Honorable Sam George and told him that the gentleman had seized their ignition key. So he was repeating this, and I want him to understand my lord's question.
Maybe
that
hold on. Maybe we don't understand him. Okay. Maybe is he saying that he had only 6 shots that day? After that, he was away. So the rest of the several shots, he wasn't there. Is that what he's saying?
I mean, I say Ghana ni first 6 shots when KKG kagema commission na. After one na ambuga kacha ambuga bindigodi. Wana kana so gwarkan baka jiba ni ko dai kaji.
Na ji an buga bindigogi. Amma lokacin nan kaga da aka fara buga da aka buga gunshot shidan nan mun boye amma mun fito. Da muka fito she bindigogi fara boye ron su wannan boye kuma na kuma na jira boye wajen nan.
My lord, what he says is that after the 6 gunshots, they came out. And subsequently, there was another gunshot. Then he ran back to where he was hidden.
Yes, and those ones were several shots.
Sini segwara wakama. De kajika boy kumana. Ambuga bindigogi ko ba.
Ambuga bindigogi.
Sina so igane. Ambuga so biuni ukuni shida ni goma ni. Wana ni na so igane.
Wana na gudu wana shibayan gani. Na boy kai na shibayan rakare bana.
That he was hiding himself, so he didn't even.
Yes, and it is that hiding place that he says is just about where these ladies are.
Yes,
so he must have seen those who were shooting. Did he see them?
We catch away distance na kanga koba kaba. So kaganu mutano wani suna buga bindigan na.
Ina ga mutane wanda suka sa kayan brown na suke buga bindigan na.
That, my lord, those in brown trousers and black t-shirts, that they are those who were firing.
How about how many?
We come on now.
Lokacin nan da suka fara buga na boye na bayan kida kamar su kaza ne. Don sun saya. So says Gabani
that they line up and they were firing. He can't actually tell the number.
3.
We come
more than 5.
We Sunfi Biar. Sunfi Biar. That there are more than 5.
More than 10.
We Sunfi Goma.
Yeah, come on, side, come on. 18, go 17, and they don't guy Magana.
That if only he wants to say something, there will be number about 18.
About 18. And the crowd that they were firing at, about how many were they?
I catch you soon at Bugumbinda, Kobakaba. Yeah. To Mutan Jamana, Kaduba Sunzama Kamanawa.
Mutan Jamana, Bayan Kid, I don't look at Mutan Jamana, some good. Jamana, some good, I forgot Karamida, some good, some good, then a good Naka, so much could be good.
That when they heard of the gunshots, the crowd, including himself, started running away.
Yes, but were they still shooting this way, like the way you saw the first one?
Where they suna gudun jama suna gudun na mutana suna bugan bisa ni kuri suna bugan.
Waran suna buga kasa, waran suna buga direct.
That some were firing top, some were firing down.
The 18 people, some were
firing
pointing upstairs, and some were.
Na gwada kama mutane 18 na waran suna bugan bisa, waran suna buga kasa. Aka kace suka gwada ku.
Ban ce mutane 80 ba. That at least mutane 18 na.
Suna gwada wa kama sai suna waran suna bugan bisa, sai waran suna buga kasa ne.
Waran suna buga bisa, waran suna buga kasa.
My Lord, that is so. Some were firing up, some were also firing down.
Does he remember? Can he tell us about how many of them were doing this street fighting, firing, and then about how many were doing it?
Wake ka gema commission ga mutan kama nawa ni suna buga bisa, sai waran su kuma nawa ni suna buga kasa.
Da na ga mutum guda fara buga kasa par, shine na gudu.
My Lord, that when he saw one person firing down, he took to his heels.
So it was only one person he saw firing down.
So kana suka gwada commissioner kama mutum guda kika gani na buga
kasa. Wanda ya buga kasa, ni na gani shi. Ana buga amma sauran bindiga nan maganan da aka buga shi ba.
That he only saw the first person who was firing down. Then he took it to his heels. The rest, he doesn't know how they were firing.
So all this was around the candidate's house.
Wannan dukkan na shi ya faru gaban gidan candidate na ne.
Gaban gidan candidate gefe shi kadan, kaman kusa da school na ya fara.
That around the candidate's house, but towards the school, the direction of the school, from the school.
Was he injured when he ran to the park?
We wannan lokaci kaji ciwo sana ka gudu ka je park nan.
Ban ji ciwo ba.
No, my Lord.
So where was he injured?
So na ne ce kaji ciwo na.
Lokacin na gani da raf tashi kan bayan na gan kamar St. George je kan park nan, shi na bi baya, shi na bi na je kan park nan. Jan in ce mu ka mun shafin nan.
That my Lord, that when he was at his hideout, he got up and saw St. George on the park. That's where he also rushed and ran towards him. That's where he had his beating and sustained the injury.
He said he was hiding among the vehicles in front of the candidate's house.
We Chicago da kaman shikana boye bayan lorika nan daga gidan candidate nan kuwa. That's so
Mr. St. George arrived at the park, close to the gate. Mr. St. George, he arrived at the park.
That we Honorable St. George, she wouldn't park and uncle. That time all Honorable St. George was at the park.
That time what?
That Honorable St. George was at the park.
Yes, but how did he see from where he was hiding?
When you look at Honorable St. George, yake kan park.
Lokacin bindigan yayi sanyi.
We when look at Kika Gani, Honorable St. George in a camp, Yakaka Gani, don't look at a boy in the
Lokacin na bindigan yayi sanyi na fito na ganshi.
That, my Lord, at the time he got up from his hideout, they had ceased firing. When he got up there, he saw Honorable St. George standing in the park.
By the gate of the school, by the school park gate, or in the middle of the park?
We Sakanim football park na nukudi entrance in school.
Sakanim football park na.
That in the park, in the middle of the park.
We've all been to the place.
Yes,
this is the candidate's house. This is the factory. These are the vehicles, like where the two of you are sitting. And he's hiding in those vehicles. and the school park is somewhere else. So if Mr. Sam George arrives at the school park, how did he see him from where he was hiding?
Ina son su gane kaga wani lori ka wani kana gwadawa kama suna sai ke kaji ka boye na the park na ya nisa da zuna so wani lokacin ke ka tashi
kaga park gidan pisin nan in ka zo ga akon wall na ci wajen gidan nan bayan shakan ga akon wall to shi lokacin na akon lori park na boye karkashin lorin nan wasu lokacin nan kasa wajen nan kuma nan bangon nan kana kallon park nan.
My Lord, what he says is that where the car that he hid himself, when you are there, there's a short wall between the candidate's house and then the school park. So when he got up from where he was hiding, he stood up and saw Honorable Sam George standing there.
Which of the cars is he talking about?
When you didn't car, kana gwadawa. When car ni.
Lori ni pickup ni.
Kalanshi.
At least come farin ko na bina park wajen nan.
That was a pickup. White.
What color?
That a white pickup.
White pickup.
Yes, my Lord.
Was it in the film that we saw?
We the kadwa chicken video na kaga wana pickup.
Pickup.
That you didn't see that pickup.
Where was it parked?
We na shi wana lori na parke.
Kaga kai go gidan nan kaka kuma wannan lawyer ke zamanin nan ka sai aka kana pickup na manje da gidan PC nan. Pickup na manje da gidan shi aka. Sannan akwai container kuma aka. Akwai na anya wajen akwai wall ya bi bayan nan. Akwai wani kiosk wajen nan.
Kiosk na brown ne.
Kiosk na
kagan kalanshi.
Bayan gane kiosk nan.
That the pickup was parked just by the candidates.
Ina da nisa da gate, black gate, and amma ina bayan gidan candidate akwai gida kuma ina kusa da shi hakan ga.
That the pickup was parked kusa da ending bongo candidate nan.
Bongo ending shi nan.
That it was parked at the end of the candidate's fence wall. And then from there, there's a house on the other side. There are some kiosks there. When you stand there, you can see the park from that direction.
Would the pickup be in the? He requested for some shots that he brought to be brought in. Would the pickup show? Would those films show where the pickup was?
We lawyer nkayachi we anka woni video ambaso. Ambuga wana anga wana pickup na.
Wana video na kam park ni.
My Lord, that video was captured at a park.
Oh, okay. So the pickup was not there.
Yes, my Lord.
Okay, thank you.
We are good.
My Lord, we are good.
Counsel, is this the tape you are referring to? It has already been tendered in evidence by Mr. Brempong. For what purpose did he want to present this tape to the commission?
My Lord, it actually contained the assault on him captured by UTV on the park, and it's about 1 minute. It's a 1 minute video.
So much for your company here on the Joy News channel and on Joy 99.7 FM. It's day 12 of the hearing into the Ayawaso West Wogan by-election violence, and the commission has seen about some 20 to 22 witnesses. What's happening right now is that Amadou is trying to add to his evidence a certain 1 minute video, according to his lawyer Xavier Sosu. That video is about 1 minute, and there it is. it's been shown to the commission, and also we have some indication, a press alert from the commission that the hearings will end today because their 1 month period will end tomorrow, and they need to try and work within the time. So we're expecting the airport divisional crime officer back today. He came earlier but was sent away because he didn't come with some important document. He was asked to go and bring that for the commission to hear his testimony. We're also expecting today Seydou Huduzane, who is a victim and an alleged leader of the Hawks, and the Hawks is believed to be a pro-militia, a pro-NDC militia group, I beg your pardon. We also are likely to see James Moore, Sidolfo Theophilos, Mohammed Al-Hassan, who are also victims of that violence, and Mohammed Suleimana, who is a member of the SWAT team, Nathaniel Tenge, Mr. Delali's housekeeper. If you've been following Amidu Amadu's testimony, he says that of the people who were at Mr. Delali Kwesi Brimpong's house, the only person he can recognize is this housekeeper, and we're likely to hear him now. The counsel of Amidu Amadu, Mr. Xavier Susu, is helping the commission's lawyer identify the video that they want to tender in or use as some evidence to their testimony. We'll be taking you back to the Christian Bock Castle when the commission is ready to watch that particular video. But it's been interesting, this testimony by Amidu Amadu, because it kind of puts the pieces together, the stories that we've heard so far. Now we are learning from Mr. Amadu that there were two separate incidents, if you may. There was the first one in which he and 4 others were confronted. A key of the vehicle they were using on the day to distribute food was seized. There was a confrontation. 6 gunshots were fired. The crowd dispersed. He went into hiding. Then he realized Mr. Sam George had come to the scene, drew his attention to the missing key, and then some more gunshots were fired. It's beginning to make a bit of sense now and beginning to put the sequence and the strings together. Now, he was asked by Mr. Patrick K. Champong if these shots that he heard were being fired into the sky or towards the crowd, and he says at a point there were shots fired in the crowd, at some other point there were shots being fired into the sky. If you've been listening or watching, you remember that the confrontation began after Mr. Amadu says he asked this team of people who he could not identify at the time where their search warrant was for searching their vehicle, and that created the confusion. Well, that video that Mr. Amadu wants to show the commission has been identified now. Let's take you back to the commission's hearing.
And is he the one on the ground?
That is so.
All right, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Okay, you may leave now. We'll take a break for 15 minutes and come back.
All right. Has taken a break now. We'll take you back when they resume sitting. But as a way of reminder, Mr. Amidu Amadu is a victim of the by-election violence. He's been testifying to the commission, sharing his side of the story, and he's been talking about what led to the confrontation, how he got injured, and also how the shots were fired, what he observed, Mr. Sam George's role in all of this. He's also been sharing with the commission why he decided to confront this group at the time, he said, didn't look like police officers to him. He demanded their search warrant. They didn't have any, and kept questioning this guy who had seized the keys. Then he says he overheard one of the members of the SWAT team asking the one who had taken the keys to stop engaging this man and stop trying to answer his questions and slap him. He says it was at this point that he called for help and asked his other colleagues to get up because they had been asked to lie on the ground. And his belief at the time was that these aren't police officers. And the commissioners have been trying to question and point him to how that could possibly have incited the crowd to attack these officers who had come there on official duties. We heard Professor Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu pushing that with the witness, asking him if he knew what a search warrant looked like. And he said, well, he had gotten some education from a police program on TV3, and so that was his, that is where he got the knowledge of search warrants from. He's been sharing really interesting details to this story that we haven't been told yet. Don't forget, we've heard from Mr. Ambrose Derry, he's Interior Minister. We've heard from all the state actors. We've heard from Mr. Brian Champong, Minister of State in charge of security. We've heard from Mr. Kandapar, who is the Minister for National Security. We've heard from the IGP. We've heard from other police officers, regional commanders. We've heard from Director of Operations at the Ghana Police Service. Now we're hearing from this man who is a key witness, if you may. He witnessed it all, apart from hearing Mr. Azugu and DSP Azugu and the other members of the SWAT team, and Mr. Sam George and Mr. Delali Kwesi Brimpong. It's been about 22 witnesses the Commission has heard so far. Earlier today, Mr. Kingsley came before the Commission. He is the Airport Divisional Crime Officer. He did not come with any documents. The Commission thought it wise to ask him to go back and bring those documents. So we are waiting for the Commission to resume to see who will take their turn. Is it this divisional crime officer or the other listed victims? We wait to see. But we'll bring you some more analysis because we've been highlighting here at Joy News, trying to figure out the contradictions in the testimonies on various issues, gunshots, whether the vehicles used belong to the police and all that. We have one that's on gunshots, and we'll be showing you that in our analysis. While at the Commission, other things have been happening in this country, and Joy News can report authoritatively today that a militia group associated with the governing MPP is being trained at an important state facility classified as a security zone. The group has been meeting at the facility for close to 2 years. Now, at a time the country is waiting on the MPP and NDC to take a decisive decision on operations of their militia groups, Joy News' head of investigations desk, Manasseh Azure Awini, went undercover to expose the activities of the I Group, its operations, and its link to the MPP.
Joy News investigation has revealed that the group has 2 offices in this building, one as the secretariat of the group and another as the office of the commander. The Ministry of Interior, which licenses private security agencies, has told Joy News the I Group is not licensed to provide any security services. Sources within the group, however, say the I Group undertakes security operations in and out of Accra. A private legal practitioner, Martin Kwebu, says it is an offense to operate a security group without any license from the Interior Ministry.
Once your checks have revealed that this I vigilante is not registered, yet they are providing the services, then, I mean, unless there are any other facts that we are not aware of, it means that there is a breach of the law. And it comes with very serious consequences. If a person, both for the persons employed as the security guards and also for the organizations, Regulation 14 makes it an offense for people or a person to work for an unregistered security organization, and also for the organization itself to provide security services when it's not been duly registered. And so Regulation 15 says that in that case, if the person is found guilty, so it means that after this, if you make a report and the police also investigate and confirm what you've already investigated, they want to prosecute, they are facing a fine and up to 1 year imprisonment.
Right.
The full story will air tonight at 8:30 p.m. here on Joy News, on Multi-TV, on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. We'll also be live streaming on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. We are Joy News on TV. We'll be streaming there as well. Don't miss this. It will shock you.
Like all bad things in this country, we call bribes by fond names and we stop seeing them as bad. We call these things political vigilantism and we don't quite appreciate how bad. It is plain warlordism.
NCC will continue to condemn, name and shame all political parties who endorse, support, sponsor and or identify themselves with any of these groups until these groups are disbanded in word and in deed.
Political parties must be made compelled either by law to immediately disband these groups. Not only disband the groups, disarm the groups.
Coming from my fought in the war, and some died in the process. You know, people died, friends of mine died, and it touches everyone. I mean, when a situation comes, it doesn't know party colors, it doesn't know the color of your skin, what you're wearing, it doesn't know anything. This is not on, and we cannot, as a people, allow it to go on.
I believe that the time has come for us, as a political class of this country, we need to collectively stand up against this, development. That is what we politicians, who the next victim will be.
We continue our campaign here. Joy News, hashtag disband party militias now. Don't forget to join the conversation on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere you can talk about this, so that we put a lot of pressure on our state actors to do the right thing. My colleague Joseph A.W.W has been attending the A.W.W Commission of Inquiry's hearing since day one. He joins us via phone to tell us more of what's been happening behind the scenes. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Bennett.
We understand from the Commission that today will be the last day of hearing. What's happening? What's the mood? Anything different?
In fact, there are a number of witnesses that are supposed to testify before the Commission. For the many people who make it a point to come to the Christian Board Castle to witness the proceedings of the Commission, the announcement came as some good news for them. In fact, during the 15-minute break that the Commission took about 10 minutes ago, that was when the public relations officer for the Commission announced those gathered here that formally that this will be the last session for the commission. They are hoping that today they'll be able to deal with the witnesses that they have to deal with. But it appears it may be a bit of a tall order for the commission because there are a number of witnesses on the list. In fact, I've counted more than 5 witnesses on the list who are yet to show up. And also, there was also one witness, one Superintendent Kingsley Abwaji, who came earlier, and he was asked to go and come back because he didn't have the vital documents that the commission considers important to engage in. So they asked.
Hello, Joseph. Well, we appear to have lost. All right, he's back.
To return. So he has also returned. That is Superintendent Kingsley Abwaji.
Okay.
He's expected to testify as well. Aside from him, there's another individual who has been identified by the Director of Operations for the National Security Secretariat. Colonel Michael Opoku, when he testified before the commission, showed a picture of one tall gentleman he said is known on social media as the leader of the Hawks. That gentleman is also present here at the Christian Borg Castle. He should testify before the Commission of Inquiry. There are also other 3 individuals who have all been named in the list that we have from the Commission of Inquiry as victims of the violence on January 31. So they are also expected to testify before the commission. So those are the numbers in terms. So we are looking at more than 5 people that if all those on the list need to show up who are expected to testify before the closing ceremony, which we understand will be a press engagement between President and the Secretary for the Commission, and Kofi Abuchi.
Joseph, in previous hearings, we've seen the commission cut their program short. Today being the last day and with the tall list you've just told us about, is there any indication that the commission is willing to extend sitting beyond the normal time frame that we've seen them work within?
It appears that the determination is quite clear that the commission hopes to finish today. And so we have seen days when the commission has had to extend its normal hearing hours. So that is an option that we are picking signals that remains on the table. And the other bit also is in terms of the engagement with the witnesses. And we saw it in the first and second instance. It was relatively limited. Direct questions were asked, and it appeared that the commission was setting for itself some time in terms of when it hopes to complete it. So that is the 2-pronged strategy that we understand the commission hopes to utilize today to ensure that it is able to finish its work and hold the media engagement that it expects to hold as well.
Joseph, before we come back to you when the commission resumes, you've been working for us here at Joy News at the commission since day one. You've heard all the witnesses. You've identified some contradictions. Can you tell us in terms of areas
I think
these
the
contradictions you've observed?
The biggest issue that has come up that remains to be settled by the commission is the number of gunshots that were fired during that by-election. In fact, the number that we've heard so far are very much contradictory. We've heard from the National Security Minister, Mr. Kandapa. We've heard from the SWAT Commander, DSP Samuel Azugu. All place the number of gunshots fired at 6. Now, we have heard other individuals who have come right from eyewitnesses, from MP Sam George, from the NDC's parliamentary candidate, Delali Kuti Brempong, all put the figure at more than 20. In fact, in terms of the evidence of the gunshots, we are looking at bullet marks when the commission visited the crime scene, and the bullet marks they identified were more than 15. We've again heard from the East Legon Division Commander who said there was one individual that he saw holding more than 20 empty gun shells. We've again heard from other persons who have also told the crime officer for East Legon, Apena Benua, also told the commission that more than 20 empty shells were found with another individual. So the biggest issue that remains in controversy has to do with the number of gunshots that were fired. Still related to the gunshots has to do with the direction of the gunshots, whether they were indeed warning shots or not. We've heard Kandapa and the various officials of the National Security say that these were gunshots that were fired. But we've heard, on the other hand, from the operatives and the other eyewitnesses who have also come in, suggest that they rather pointed the guns and fired the guns at the individuals. So it again points to the bit about what exactly happened. Again, another very important thing was the purpose for which the SWAT team was deployed in the first place. The first official information that came before the commission said that they were to check on the stockpiling of ammunition. Subsequently, we heard from Double, who is Bright Akomia, a national security operative, who told the commission yesterday that they were going on patrol.
Can you check today?
He was asked a direct question whether they were going to check for whether indeed this, in terms of this stockpiling of ammunition, whether that was what they were going to check for. That was not something that remained an option, and that they had no intention of going into the house. So those are the issues that appear to be different in terms of the testimony so far, and those are all aspects of this whole testimony before the that the expectation is that the commission will find some conclusion when it puts together its final report.
I assume that the commission will come back in about 5 minutes because considering the time the session was asked to go on a break, and the time we're at now, it should take about 5 more minutes to get there. But we'll touch base with you, and you let us know more of what's happening later. But before you go, Joseph, you've heard Amadu's testimony today. For us here, sitting in the studio, all of us watching, I'm sure the whole nation is watching, this appears to be making more sense. Do you get that sense at the commission's hearing?
There are portions of the other testimonies that have come that was pretty much difficult for people to understand. So when you take the testimony of Ningo Prampram MP Sam George, he told the commission that he was told that there was a key, and that key was what was causing the disagreement because the key had been seized. He was trying to collect the key. He was asked directly what that key was for, who owned the key. Those are answers that the commission never got. Now, we have gotten some clarity on that. What the testimony he's given is to the effect that this was a vehicle that was to be used to convey food that was meant for the NDC's polling agents across the constituency. Now, he says it was when they arrived that they were approached by these masked men in black and khaki who asked that they wanted to search the vehicle, and that he asked for their warrants, and they didn't obtain that warrant. They didn't provide that warrant, in his opinion. That is why they refused to allow them to search the vehicle. That led to the violence. So that is a portion of the gaps in the other testimony that we've obtained so far that has gotten some clarification, at least from his end on it. The concern from the commission was that it was his actions in terms of calling the individuals to help him retrieve the key from the khaki and masked men. That was what caused the violence of the day. And he disagreed with that particular position coming from the commission. So in terms of the cause of the violence too, aside from the key and what that key was for, additional information has been provided in that regard. And it appears that a number of people who were at the residence, the question has been asked of the various witnesses as to what exactly the individuals had come to do. But we have gotten some clarification from this witness that some of them at least, not the entire number, but some of them at least were there to provide food for the various NDC candidates, polling agents who are in various parts of the constituency. So that is, again, some clarity that we obtained from this particular testimony.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akablay. There are man at the commission's hearing since day one, and the commission has heard more than 20 witnesses. And for today, we've seen 2, so about 22 witnesses in 12 days of sitting. And throughout the hearing, different versions of the Bawaleshie violence have been shared. But some questions remain clearly unanswered. They include how many shots were fired, who fired them, and whether or not they were directed at the crowd. Joy News will bring you some analysis on the contradictions we've been able to gather so far.